Hey guys, so I'm going to go over really quick a couple of examples for you of just a reminder of how to find slope and y-intercept of a graph and how to put that into an equation. So when we are finding slope, remember we always want to do, well, first off, we have, oh goodness gracious, we have, let's pick a better color. We have M, which is our slope, and to find that we do rise over run. We have B, which is our y-intercept, and that is where it hits our y-axis. So if this is my y-axis, it's where it intersects the y-axis. So if you notice right here, my point intersecting my y-axis, so I know my y-intercept is going to be 9. Then this graph fortunately gives me another point. So I'm going to go down 1, 2. Since I'm going down, that represents a negative number. And then it looks like I'm running 2 boxes down here, but if you look at your scale, each box is only worth a half. So I'm really running 1. Then when I go to write my equation, I always write it in the form of y equals mx plus b. So I'm taking what my m is, which simplified down to negative 2, and my b, which is 9, and just plugging them in. So negative 2x plus 9. Then the next one here, again, I'm going to find my y-intercept because that's the easiest thing to identify. And I have my m again, which is rise over run. I have my b, which is my y-intercept, and that is right here at 100. So I know that there is some fee of $100 to rent out the hall, and then for every hour, I've got to figure out how much it costs. So here is another point that I can easily identify. So I'm going to rise 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. And I'm going to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I get 500 over 8. And I can simplify that down. I can simplify that down to 125 over 2. And that is just how that's what I would use to write my equation. So if I have y equals mx plus b, I'm going to have y equals 125 over 2x plus 100. On this next one, my y-intercept is right here. So I have m, rise over run. I have b, which is 5. So I'm going to pick another point right here. I'm rising 5 and I am running 2. So I'm going to leave it just like that for my equation. So y equals mx plus b. Y equals 5 over 2x plus 5. Then down here, I have a couple more examples because these lines go all the way through and sometimes y'all get confused. So if I have my m, my b, I can always identify my y-intercept really easily because it's where my line is crossing my y-axis here. So I know my y-intercept is 2. And then they give me another point to use. So I'm going to go down 1, 2. And going down represents a negative number. Then I'm going to go to the right 1, 2, 3. So when I go to write my equation, I'm going to have y is equal to a negative 2/3 x plus 2. Another example. So I have my y-intercept is at 4. They give me this point here. I'm going down 1, 2. Since I'm going down, that's a negative number. I'm going to the right 1. When I simplify my slope, it's a negative 2. So I write my equation of y equals negative 2x plus 4. And then one more. My y-intercept this time is a negative 4. Now the point they give me is in the middle here. I don't have to use that point. I prefer to count directly to another point that will count for me. Another thing I have to notice that my scale is going by 2. So when I rise, I am rising 2, 4. and I'm running 2, 4, 6. So if I simplify, find that equivalent fraction, it's going to be 2/3. So when I go to write my equation, I'm going to have y is equal to 2/3 x minus 4. So on your scavenger hunt, you need to have a piece of paper to track where you are going. If you just click the box that you think is right, it will take you to that next slide for you to work on. You have to make sure that you present the Google Slides or else it won't work.